Welcome to Living Love, a podcast about how to live a heart-centered life. My name is Victoria Price, and this is my very first episode. 5 years ago today, on April 15th, 2020, my book was published, Living Love, 12 Heart-Centered Practices to Transform Your Life. 9 months earlier, I'd panicked when I was told it was coming out on tax day. It seemed like a pretty stressful day for a book about love. As it turned out, taxes were the least of my worries. 6 months before publication, my wonderful publisher was let go in a massive downsizing effort, which also scrapped my promotion budget. Now I had to cobble together whatever I could on my own pretty limited dime. Then election year kicked off, and so much divisiveness and angry rhetoric ramped up. Suddenly, living love seemed pretty pie in the sky. Finally, COVID hit and lockdown happened. So much for even my limited book tour. I tried to take all this in stride. I posted every single morning on my Daily Practice of Joy blog and shared that on social media. I did a lot of online interviews, hoping that once people engaged with the heart-centered practices in my book, they would see what living love could do. The ones who read the book and did the practices got it. But by far, the biggest response I got was doubt. I kept hearing, what can love possibly do about all this fear, hatred, and anxiety? People are dying. Everyone is scared of COVID and of each other. I knew what the answer was. Love can literally do everything. Love is the only answer to fear, hate, and anxiety. But I didn't say that. Why not? Why did I clam up? Well, that's what this podcast is about. It has taken me 5 years to understand why I didn't have the courage to say what I knew to be true. Here's the short answer. Because I, too, was afraid. I refuse to be afraid any longer. It's hard if you come from a family of famous people who were so concerned about other people's responses that they changed their actions because of that fear. I was literally taught to be afraid, even as I was taught about the power of love. It took me long enough to embrace the love part. It's taken me even longer to unpack the fears woven into my parents' twisted double helix of a message. Thus, this podcast. It's my do-over, Living Love 2.0. It's also my audiobook, kind of. When the money for publicity was pulled, my audiobook budget went with it, and I'm a huge audiobook fan. So this podcast is going to be me reading my book while talking about the practices that have saved my bacon over and over again, but also sharing what I've learned about fear, hatred, anxiety, judgment, and doubt since the book came out. Along the way, some new heart-centered practices will be revealed, beginning with radical honesty about my own flaws, foibles, and failings, a practice which I think it's fair to say is in pretty short supply these days. In this podcast, I'm going to do my best to speak the truth, because truth and love always go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. No love without truth, no truth without love. Period. The end. I'm probably not going to keep a regular podcast release schedule, so please subscribe on your favorite podcast platform to be notified, as they'll come out when they come out, given my work schedule. If you want to read along or work through the practices in the book, you can find it online or digitally at the usual book shopping sources. I really hope you'll tune in. And today, just to wet your proverbial whistle, I'll leave you with a quote I just discovered from a poet named Max Dunaway. I can't stop thinking about it. If we forget to love, we forget to live. This week, please, let's all remember to love. Tune in for my next episode as we talk more about the connection between love and fear. Thanks for listening.